Hello everyone, welcome to Prestige Castle Farm. My name is Innocent. First, we want to wish you all a happy new month, as today is the 1st of March 2024. Today, I'll be discussing about the alfalfa, and I'll be discussing the benefit of the alfalfa for your rabbit. I'll also be discussing how the alfalfa can help you save cost, and finally I'll be demonstrating to you how you can plant the alfalfa seed. So let's jump right into the benefit of the alfalfa for your rabbit. The alfalfa is usually described as the queen of forage because it contains very rich nutritional benefit for your rabbit. It contains a very high protein, crude protein content, which ranges between 13% up to 21% crude protein content. It is also very rich in fiber content, which can go as high as 38%, fiber content. And as you know, one of the most important nutrients for your rabbit is fiber, because it helps in their digestive system. And finally, the alfalfa is very, very rich in calcium. So these three important nutrients, you cannot compromise on them when it comes to getting the best for your rabbit. Not only these three, it also contains other good nutrients such as phosphorus, zinc, vitamin D, vitamin C, and vitamin A, which are all good for your rabbit. So, having said this, state the importance of this nutrient for your rabbit, because it helps your rabbit to grow very, very fast. Like, as you know, your rabbit should eat about, in fact, 80% of your rabbit nutritional content. These three important content, the fiber, the protein, and the calcium, is very, very important. And as you know, your rabbit should eat 80% of their food should be hails. But unfortunately, in this part of the world, particularly in Nigeria, most farmers do not feed their rabbit with hails. In fact, they usually use the poultry feed or formulated feed. I'm not a huge fan of poultry feed because it has low fiber content. So ideally, you should feed your rabbit with 80% hails, but we know that having access to these hails in this part of the world is not easy. So most farmers, end up feeding their rabbit with poultry feed. But with this alfalfa seed, which when planted, you can wither it to become an hay for your rabbit, you'll be able to solve two problems. Number one, you'll be able to give your rabbit quality hails. After harvesting your alfalfa, you can with it, and then it will become dry, and then you can now use it to give to your rabbit as hails. Basically, hails are just dry grass or dry leaf. Then once you harvest, you don't sun dry it, don't put it under the sun, don't sun dry your harvested alfalfa. Instead, just put it, because if you sun dry it, if you put it under the sun, your alfalfa may end up losing some of those nutrients. So rather just put it in a cool environment, or you put it inside a sack and keep it someplace. It will dry up, it will wither, and then you can now give it to your rabbit as dry hails. That is the first thing, is that it contains good nutrient for your rabbit. And secondly, it can help you to save cost. Like, as you know, the price of feed, particularly poultry feed, is growing at an exorbitant rate. Today you go to the market, it's going for 15,000 naira. 15,000 naira should be around plus minus, should be around about $10 or there, about $10. And then tomorrow you go into the market, and then it's have gone up to 17, 18, 20,000. That's how the price of poultry feed is going up, and that becomes really, really, really hard for most rabbit farmers that feed their rabbit with this poultry feed. First, it doesn't contain enough fiber that your rabbit need, and secondly, it's expensive. So why not consider planting your own alfalfa? You'll be giving your rabbit good quality nutritional benefit, and secondly, you'll be able to control your environment. Because one of the mistakes some farmers make is, or most farmers make is, especially in this part of the world, is they go out there to fetch these grasses, these hills, and the unfortunate thing is that they do not have the history. They are not the owner of the place where they're fetching this grass. They just go into the bush, and sometimes the owner of those places may have fumigate the place. And some of these insecticide and these chemicals that are used to fumigate the place, once the grass is contaminated, it's not good for your rabbit consumption. In fact, we've lost one rabbit in our farm, and that rabbit is as a result of this. So to prevent that, you should consider planting your own hills. This seed, it can be made available. If you're interested, you can hit me up on WhatsApp, and we would get it to you. So the benefit is that you can plant it within your own controlled environment, free from not being sure, not being certain whether the environment has already been fumigated, because you plant it yourself, you're getting the nutritional benefit, and secondly, it's going to help you save costs. For example, this 250 gram of hill is less than the cost is less than one bag of feed, but you can plant it in a plot of land. You can plant this in a plot of land. And so that means that if you plant this you will be able to, it usually takes about 2 months for you to harvest. So when you plant it, it should take about 2 months for you to harvest. And once what it needs is good soil, good organic. You're already a rabbit farmer, so you can use your rabbit poo as organic manure for planting of this, which is very, very rich, and enough water. So once you do that, within 2 months, your ale is ready to be harvested, and every 2 to 3 weeks, you'll be harvesting your own alfalfa, and then processing by withering it for it to become ale. And then that gives you, then you've solved a lot of issues with regard to feed, and at the same time you are saving costs, because you don't need to be buying feed anymore. The ale is actually supposed to constitute their feed. 80% of rabbit food should be ale. So in that way, you're giving them quality ale made from this alfalfa, which contain high crude protein, good calcium, and good fiber content, with other vitamins such as phosphorus and zinc. And I'm telling you, the result will speak for itself. The result will speak for itself, because you are planting it yourself in a controlled environment. So I'll be demonstrating to you how you can plant your alfalfa. There are two ways to plant your alfalfa seed. You can use either the Regis format. You can use either the Regis format, or you can use the bed format. The bed format is very good in economizing space if you do not have space. By the way, this is just this is the area where we experiment on the seed to check if the seed is potent enough before planting it in our bigger farm. So when you create your ridges like this, you should keep about 6 inches between in both sides, right? Around about 6 inches. And then you take your finger, your index finger, and then the first line, you put it inside like this, because you don't want to plant the seed too deep. You don't want to plant it too deep. So you just put it like this, and then you you take it down to, down to the end of the particular ridge. So after that, you open your alfalfa seed, and then you put it down like this, down to the end. So the advantage of doing this style, the ridge style, is that it gives you enough space. You have enough space on both sides. You can easily control the weed, like because the alfalfa is not very good with weed, so you need to weed it constantly. It needs enough water. And after planting 3 weeks after planting, then you can introduce your manure. Preferably use your rabbit manure. Is very, very rich for that. So like as I said, it takes 2 months before you harvest once you plant, and then it takes you about 2 to 3 weeks because it grows really, really fast. It looks very much like it does very much like the water leaf. It's very similar to the water leaf. You plant within 2 months, and then you start harvesting every 2 to 3 weeks. So